Marines Chad Robichaux and Kate Monroe join us now. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'd like to show our audience the map of Ukraine right now with a section in red that basically shows the section in the eastern part of the country that is under Russian control. When you look at Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg taking on this special envoy role, Chad, what do you expect that he will recommend to try to wrap up this war?
Well, he's going to recommend exactly what President Trump has promised the American people and the Ukrainian people, and that's a path to peace. In the last 3.5 years, we have not seen a path to peace. We've seen $200 billion poured into the military-industrial complex of the United States. People get richer while the vulnerable people of Ukraine are dying. Nearly 1 million people have died. We're sending from $500 million to $1 billion in weapons per month, including ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles that President Biden has given the green light for Zelensky to fire into Russia, escalating this thing when we have an administration change on January 20th. This is being provoked. President Trump has promised the American people and the Ukrainian people to bring peace in negotiations between Vladimir Putin and Zelensky, and I believe he could do it. I wrote it in my book. Recently, I believe President Trump could do it. In fact, on my show, the Resilience Show, I just interviewed 3 Ukrainian commanders just 2 days ago. And these coming from 3 Ukrainian commanders who are fighting on the ground, have been fighting on the ground for 3 years now. This is what they want. They're tired of the dying. They're tired of people fighting. They're tired of this war going on in this country. Okay. They want it to end.
Kate, how do you believe that General Kellogg will attack this problem, the conflict in Ukraine?
Well, I think, Trump always brings peace through strength. He did a very good job of keeping the entire globe at peace. I think he's going to bring an end to this war very quickly. But on the other side of them bringing peace here, coming to some kind of agreement between these two countries, we have to wonder, what are we going to do to rebuild our own stockpile of weapons? What are we going to do to shore up our own military recruiting crisis? We're asking Ukraine to move their recruitment from 25 down to 18 to essentially use their people as cannon fodder, while we ourselves don't even have a strong enough military, and we're giving all of our weapons and money. It would also be interesting to see what happens with the $6.5 billion that they can't grift from the rest of what was given by Congress. I would love to see that go toward recruiting, toward housing homeless veterans, toward fixing infrastructure on bases, making sure that our own active duty military people can eat without food stamps. So I think peace through strength is going to end this war the day that he takes office.
All right, let me pick up on that point you just made. The Wall Street Journal reports that Biden administration doesn't have enough time to spend about $6.5 billion in weapons for Ukraine. That's been authorized by Congress. There it is on the screen. The administration still has more than $6.5 billion left in what is known as drawdown authority. The United States would have to ship more than $110 million worth of weapons a day, or just shy of $3 billion in December and January, to spend the remaining funds in time. So does that money, Chad, give President-elect Trump leverage to draw the Ukrainians to the negotiating table?
It absolutely does. Look, it gives President Trump what he needs to sit down with President Zelensky and negotiate peace on his side. President Trump also recognizes what President Reagan recognized when he economically sanctioned Gorbachev to lose the Soviet Union over this. I mean, Russia has only one exportable commodity, and that's oil. And so it's very easy for President Trump to bring both of these leaders into a negotiating table and make this happen. And by the way, now he has $6.5 billion that he can reallocate to our own infrastructure. And if the industrial military complex wants to make money, then let's rebuild, just as Kate said, the stockpile of our own arsenal to protect Americans.
Kate, does that money help President-elect Trump draw the Ukrainians to the negotiating table, but also the Russians to say, if you don't want us to send the weapons, you better cut a deal?
Well, I think when you have a quantifiable amount of money left to spend, it's very easy to see how much longer the war can go on. If we are unwilling to fund a forever Ukrainian war, something will have to happen. I think that we should have done a drawdown schedule over a year ago, but this gives President Trump a quantifiable amount of money to do so. I do think that possibly right after he takes office, both men will come to the table realizing that this war is sort of over. We're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand idly by and fund your forever war, because right now there's no reason for either party to stop. Ukraine's never been richer. Why would they stop the war? So I think that when they realize the money's about to dry up, you'll see a swift change here.
Well, it sounds like both sides are running out of troops at this point. But Kate Monroe, Chad Robichaux, thank you so much for your time and your analysis today, and thank you for your service to the country.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.